A few years ago, while browsing local occult forums, I came across a post where a young woman was desperately seeking help with a horrifying situation. By the time she wrote her first message, someone had been stroking her head in the darkness 3 times in a month. Not just touching her hair accidentally, which could be attributed to drafts or material friction, but a distinct stroking sensation. In a state of panic, she would wake her husband, who would turn on the light, only to find no one nearby. They didn't have any pets in their one-room apartment, and there were no tragic events or unusual occurrences within a kilometer radius. This experience distressed her greatly, and her husband believed it was all in her imagination, attributing it to female nervousness. She was plagued by headaches during the day, and it became difficult for her to fall asleep at night. She turned to a forum that was moderated by a so-called clairvoyant for advice. Unfortunately, she didn't receive any useful guidance and reported another visit from the mysterious presence. The account also mentioned a significant argument with her husband before she disappeared from the forum. 2 years after her last message, I stumbled upon the forum and found her story intriguing. I sent her a private message, asking her to share how everything had ended. To be honest, I didn't expect to get a response, as a considerable amount of time had passed. After a couple of months, she did respond. She explained that she had remembered her old email password and discovered my message there. Here's what she told me, quoting a part of her email. "On that forum, a man advised me that, the next time I felt the touch on my head, I should immediately turn on the light and look into a mirror. In other words, switch on the light abruptly and see what's happening at the head of the bed." I was in deep despair, my migraines were almost constant, and I managed to convince my husband to take down the large mirror in the hallway, which he positioned near the bed so I could see what was happening at the top end of the bed. My husband, looking at me as if I had gone completely mad, complied with my request. For a few nights, we stayed in tranquility. My husband slept while I suffered from a throbbing headache and insomnia. Then, on the 4th or 5th night, I fell asleep. Deep into the night, I suddenly woke up feeling someone touching my head again. I was drenched in sweat and trying hard not to scream, pushing my husband, who was a light sleeper. He quickly woke up and turned on the light. Both of us stared at the mirror and saw, standing at the top of the bed just above my head, a disheveled old woman. Her hand rested on my hair. Then her image faded and disappeared. For the rest of the night, I had a nervous breakdown, and my husband couldn't bear to look at me in the same way. Together, we noticed that the old woman seemed familiar. After a lot of thought, my husband remembered that she lived several floors above us, on the 6th or 7th floor. I also recalled her, and remembered that someone from the building used to scold her, calling her an unkempt witch and an old hag. I couldn't understand why she had anything against us, against me. We tried various measures. We found a couple of priests who blessed and sanctified the apartment, sprinkling it with holy water. We even consulted a clairvoyant who came from another city. My husband once even tried to talk to the old woman when he encountered her coming out of the building, but she appeared insane. We tried many things, but the nightly visitor returned 2 more times. During this time, my health deteriorated significantly, and I was admitted to the hospital. The doctors couldn't provide a specific diagnosis. Strangely, I felt better while I was in the hospital. In the meantime, my husband decided to sell the apartment. We moved to another neighborhood where we now live, free from distress. The apartment was purchased by a Tajik family. I hope the old woman has finally met her match, as according to rumors, the Tajiks have been annoying the whole building. The story ends there, and I don't have any additional information about what happened after they moved to the new neighborhood.